morning when I wake up. Money on my mind, go time to get caked up. Sunshine coming through my blinds, I'm living, but really though, it's never enough. 10 billion, that's a must. Living in California, everybody wanna visit for. They come from all around the world for the. These niggas are kill for that. Put it in your grill for that. Still everybody got a build for that. Me, I make meals off that. How the fuck y'all can't see I ride when I drive down the block and you look outside? HATE in your eyes. I enter big money for the enterprise. It's a beautiful day, I guess, for a bitch to roll with Andre, I guess. Roll it up, baby, come on, let that trust and roll it up for me when I'm stressed.
You might catch me in Atlanta, looking like a boss. New Orleans and then Miami, party in New York. Texas, I be screwed up. Chi-town, I be really pimpin'. But nothing like my hometown, now forever living.
They come from all around the world for the.
Patch I was trying to hit earlier, you know what I'm saying? But you don't have to have that every now and then. You have to bandage up like a wounded soldier. But, oye, bienvenidos, nosotros trabajamos duro. Oye, sueros aquí con Selena Fimbres or Cheshire Selly on Instagram. And I'm sorry, like the way you're looking at me, I might have butchered up that name there. I'm sorry. I totally did. Correct me there. But no, you're here with Selena. She's a Sacramento 420 nurse, cannabis dispensary, a whole lot of things. Like, I don't know. I want to hear your story. How did you, like, especially the 420 nurses? I hear there's, I have a feeling there's probably more of a backstory to it, but like, kind of like what led you into getting into the 420 nurses, you know?
I mean, well, the 420 nurses, I knew about them. I found out about them in like 2009. They had come to Sacramento to find models, and of course my family and stuff, back then I was like, you know, stick thin and tall and stuff, so everyone was like, you should be a model, so they knew that they were coming around and was like, Selena, you should go try that out. And I was like, no, I don't like modeling. Which is really funny because, like, what, in 2009 I was 18 years old, so like, what, 12 years later, here I am doing the modeling thing, feeling more confident than I did at 18, for sure. So, damn, if I had that type of confidence back then.
Yeah, I feel that way too with a lot of shit, especially after doing comedy. You know, but like, kind of like, what do you feel like was like the booster that got you like into the modeling? You know what I mean? Because it seems like if you're really shy, like there was something that was kind of like a ultimate push, you know?
So honestly, like I was just going through a bad breakup, and I don't know, doing my thing. I post on Instagram and stuff all the time, and at the time I was a delivery driver for North. I still work there, I just don't do driving anymore. And a photographer for the Sactown chapter had hit me up because he had seen a video that I made when I was on a delivery. I was actually, well, I was at lunch is what it was when I was a delivery driver, and I was talking about this chicken that I got from the gas station. So shit was fire.
That sounds like a good stoner conversation right there.
I was like, I had to record that moment. I was like, yo, I just got some gas station chicken that's fucking amazing, which, shout out to Crispy Crunchy Chicken, that shit's fire. And, yeah, I made a video talking about it, and this photographer came across it and was like, hey, you are, like, perfect for our chapter. Would you be interested in coming in and modeling? And I was going through a bad breakup, and I was like, you know what? I need friends and a hobby, so let's do it. So, yeah, I went to my first photo shoot, and was like, I could do this. All I do is like stand here and look cute, and you snap some photos. Perfect.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm all about work smarter, not harder. So.
No, I believe in that, 100%. Like, so what? Like when they hit you up, or you kind of like, did you check on like the prices and all that too? Like, hey, you know, are you paying me like something right, or were you kind of just like, yeah, I'll try it out and see what happens?
I had already known about the 420 nurses from previous experience, so it was like when he hit me up, it was like, this is the route I'm going. All right, let's do it. Because like I just remember all the conversations with like my family and stuff back in the day. And at the time, I didn't smoke weed, so it was like, there's no sense in me joining the 420 nurses to be a model. I don't even smoke weed. Like, I wouldn't enjoy it. And now it's like, last year is when I joined. I was like 29 years old and bored and going through a bad breakup, and was just like, let's do it. Let's go down this path and see what happens. And now a whole last year later, we are like, I don't know, about 100 or more people in our chapter here in Sacramento, and constantly growing and networking, and I don't know. Look at, I'm here.
Yeah, no,
like,
it's tight. Like, yeah, you're here. Like, I was like, oh, this is pretty strange too, because I just like run across you on Instagram and all that. And again, like Lola had mentioned the 420 nurses and all that. And I saw the thing about the sleepover. I was like, that kind of sounds kind of hot and all that. It's like, getting ready, you know, I gotta be honest. And so I was like, oh, okay, what's that like about? Because I was like, is this like a big kind of like, I wasn't like sure.
Yeah.
You know, when I saw the flyer and all that, and like, you know, maybe you want to talk about here in a little bit. Like, I don't know if it's something like big you want to throw out to all of it about like, you know, the.
So like,
sleepover,
well, what we do is we do like events and stuff for the members of our chapter, and depending on what we're doing, we'll have open public events too, where people can come and mingle with the models and photographers and get some photos done, and you know, hang out with us.
And you smoke a hell of a lot of herb.
Yeah, I mean, that's the whole point, is to like network and chill and have good vibes and be around good people, and that's what like the 420 nurses are about. Chill life, and you know, nothing but good vibes.
Shit, yeah. Now, I was gonna say, because now going from like just being in there a year and all that, and now you're actually doing some like you're kind of directing and doing your own photo shoots and all that now. Like, so how did that kind of evolve? Did you take an interest into it, or?
Honestly, I kind of just like took over and started doing stuff. I'm like a very like entrepreneurial. God, I can't even fucking say it right now because I'm lit. But it's cool. I just have like a very business forward spirit, and I don't know, I saw an opportunity because like a year ago we weren't this big at all, and we were, I don't know, doing photo shoots in apartments and, you know, just making it.
Yeah.
And now it's like, now we can hold big events and we can have fun sleepovers and stuff, like what's gonna happen with all the models. It's just really cool. It's really cool that like we're just a bunch of people that get along and like to have fun, and we take photos and stuff in the process and promote good bud.
Hell yeah, which is like good shit. Like, no, I love it because yeah, again with the 420 nurses, like I know I've probably like said it a couple of times, but I know just where I run across them, I was just like, man, like what, like is it? I was just like curious as like how like the start had like come about and all of that. Like, are you familiar with like how like they kind of originated, or?
Well, the CEO of 420 Nurses, she goes by Cha-Cha Vavoom, and she started this when she was like 18 years old. So,
holy shit.
You know, that was back in the day. It was like 12 years ago, and now she's built this awesome like little empire. Like she they have a boutique down in LA. The main chapter is down in LA.
Tight.
And yeah, so you can go to Canoga Park and you can go visit the 420 nurses over there. That's where the main boutique is. And she was just doing like a lot of shows, you know, trade shows for weed and all that kind of stuff, and she just made her name that way.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and it's really cool because now there's like 420 nurse chapters like internationally, so it's neat. And you know, it's kind of funny too because a lot of people think that, you know, the 420 nurses were just like a bunch of Instagram models and stuff, but it's like, no, you can legitimately go to our website, 420nurses.com, and you can become our fan on there and, you know, see what we do and come to our casting calls and stuff. We have a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah. No, that sounds tight. No, like, I like, just seeing some of the photos. It reminds me of like the like a Suicide Girl-esque kind of shoot, which I feel like they kind of blew the like kind of like.
Suicide Girls are legit. I mean, I still to this day am a huge fan of Suicide Girls, and I feel like 420 Nurses definitely has that potential. You know, they found a niche because cannabis modeling is not really a thing right now. Like, you don't find modeling agencies for cannabis or anything, and that's what the Sactown chapter is trying to do. You know, we're trying to create a network of all these cannabis companies that are going to come to us and, you know, hey, we have this product, can you promote it? And we want people to want to be on our website because you can create business profiles on there and everything. Like, you get a 5-star review with the 420 nurses, you get put on our website, you know, all the nurses know about you and their fans and stuff can follow you, and it's like a whole ass thing. We have a really cool network.
Oh, that sounds pretty groovy. Like, so what kind of events do you all kind of go to and say, like, do you have any kind of specific ones that you really enjoy? Like, do you ever, I mean, I kind of have an idea, like, some of you might do, but I just kind of want to get your own, like, perspective on that, like, ones that you've done, like, concerts, perhaps, or things that you kind of have in mind that you really do want to do in the future.
I mean, we love to go to concerts. Aftershock was going on, and we were trying to get a booth over there and set up. We didn't get in, you know, but it was an attempt. But we have been at Sac Anime. We've had a booth over there. Just to get models and stuff and take photos with cosplayers and stuff because that whole scene is fucking awesome. And then we do weed shows quite a bit, and we've done something called a cannabis carnival before, which was very interesting. All of the meals were cannabis infused and everyone was lit. Let's just say that. And it was cool because we had a dunk tank and we had some carnival games going on. Got a lot of good video and photos over there. And then, I don't know, like, we're just trying to do more. We would love to do like a legal weed show. There was one that was happening in Oakland and I tried to get us a booth over there. But, you know, we don't have the name quite yet, but we're working on it.
Gotcha. But no, I mean, it seems like you're all doing well. I mean, that's what it's about, is just getting the steps. And I love that it's still kind of in the underground, because that's what, I don't know, that's the niche. Like, right before, like, the big break into something, the thing is, like the best time.
Yeah, and, you know, well, part of my like, reason why I stick with 420 nurses and I'm really trying to make something of it, too, is because, like, weed's not even federally legal yet. Like, can you imagine when it becomes, like, a federally legal fucking thing? It's just gonna be amazing, and we can, like, spread out everywhere. It's gonna be a really cool experience, because it's like we've been in the weed industry before, you know, like, we've been in, like, the foundation, and that's, like, the best part about it.
No, I follow. On the weed and all that, do you get down with edibles much, or like what is your kind of go-to?
So, I mean, I love edibles, but like they really do fuck me up. Like, I have an immune system that just soaks up edibles like none other, and I'll just get super fucked up from them. So I just don't really do them much unless I get them, like, given to me or something. Then it's like, well, I can't let this go to waste.
Yeah.
You know, or I give it to someone. you just can't do gifts, like, and just let them go to waste, that's for
Oh,
sure.
hell no. Like, it's like, see, edibles are weird with me, is because I remember, like, right now I'm getting pretty lit on that. That's got some good, like, keef in there and some bud and all that, so, like, that's always when I'm feeling, like, groovy, but with me, I remember there was one night, because again, I'm from West Virginia, and we were talking about, like, where it's, like, not federal legal, that, like, I went out there and smoked, and we were talking earlier, it was like, that's what you call, like, mountain weed and whatnot.
Right.
It is good, but it's got, like, a different kind of flavor and, like, vibe to it and all that, but, like, coming out here, like, you smell, like, some of it, like, there's times I'd be like, oh, man, I'm having, like, a it's like, it's like a psychedelic trip, you know, I could, like, watch, like, trees and be, I'm kind of, like, seeing, like, faces and the leaves, you know what I mean? But
that's, like, a common thing, though. You always hear that from people that are out of state and stuff, like, California weed is it. And I love that for us. You know, like, legitimately, I think that's fucking awesome, because when I lived in Wyoming, I smoked some shitty fucking weed out there, man, and like, I am sorry, even the Colorado weed, because, Wyoming is right there, was just it's not the same.
I believe it, like, yeah. Like, it took me, like, again, I've been out here for 5 years now, but it took pretty much, like, 3 years to kind of build up a tolerance or whatever, because there's, like, the first couple of years I was like, ooh, whoa, Nelly, this is... But getting back to the edibles and all that, with me, edibles are weird, because sometimes they'll, I won't really feel them until much, much later. Like, even, like, that 1,000 milligram brownie I ate one night, like, I didn't feel that until, like...
Some people have that, though. Like, I've heard of that. It's very common. And it's like, I wish that I had that, because then it's like you completely forget, and then all of a sudden you're lit.
Just a housemate sneaking by, audience. That's how you know it's a podcast. That's the home studio, ladies and gentlemen. You come in.
The footsteps.
You get involved. You get atmosphere and all of that. Oh man. Also talking about edibles. No, there was I did a stage play. If Sarah Diaz watches this, she probably won't appreciate hearing this, because she was the producer and director of it and all that.
We apologize in advance.
But no, and again, this is me. I tell people, I'm like, listen, like, I'm Keith Richards minus the heroin. Like, I don't know if you listen to the Rolling Stones much, or, like, are you a Keith Richards fan or not, but meaning, like, I don't cause problems, but when I'm around, like, something just seems to happen that it's like him. Like, it's like, what? But anyway, no.
Is it because of my hair?
Yeah, it's because of my hair. Like, rock star personality and all that. But, no, on this, like, show, on one of the nights, I had a landlady that she would make edibles and all that at the time, so here I am, like, bogarting this. But here, apologize. But she gave me a couple of them, so I think they were about like a 300 milligram brownie or something. And this is like the third week of the show. And again, like I said, if I eat a brownie, sometimes I won't even feel that motherfucker. I eat that like probably about 45 minutes before like curtain call, like showtime, whatever you want to like say. And then like as soon as we start, like they whatever, like the other people were coming from like stage left, right, whatever it was. And I can't remember, I'm thinking, yeah, stage left. Or
One
of
those. That's how late you were. You don't even remember.
No, it's, yeah. No, it's been a minute since I've been in shows, but anyway, getting out of that theater bullshit. It was stage left, but nonetheless, people are coming out there, and then, okay, the light comes on, we have to go out. And it's like, when I get on stage, that's when I start feeling it. And we're shaking, like, this things, we have to make this, like, undulate water or whatever. And I'm like smiling, like, no, and I'm like, man, I'm feeling way fucking good. And like for a second, I was like, I hope I don't get paranoid. And like I got like a spike of fear, but I submitted that down quick, and it was just a mellow, good show the whole time. I was good, but like no, I would smoke weed before those, because my character was like a vagabond, like a rebel, you know what I mean? So I was like, I'm being in character, you know?
Right.
I'm a method actor here.
Right, I feel it.
But this one girl was like, I think she'd be like, he smokes weed, I'm allergic to it. Like, but it's like, you're not having reactions around me? What's the problem here? I'm not blowing into people's faces. I go outside. No, but it's just funny, like just causing, because I'm not trying to cause mild havoc, but it's just me being me. It's like people getting like a problem. It's like, what? You know what I'm saying? What's the deal? But I mean, I say that's
but
like,
I can see it. Like,
yeah.
I can see why.
I don't know. What's your
I'd be
thought
like,
on
what's
that?
that smug motherfucker over there smiling about? Like,
Yeah. He's having a good time acting. He's on stage right now.
Right.
He's enjoying his in between. Like.
People feel like that sometimes, though. You know, you go out in public, you look at someone the wrong way, and it's like, yo, I wasn't even, like, doing nothing. I was reading your shirt. Why did you wear a shirt that said something if you didn't want me to look at it? Like,
Oh, yeah. No, I do that too all the time, because again, like we were talking like earlier about needing glasses and all that. Like, no, I'll always be squinting, because sometimes I'll see someone like go by, and like that's like how I also have the nickname T-Rex, because my vision's kind of based on movement. Sometimes like just where I'm a little bit out of focus, like I might be like looking at something like in the distance, but I don't really realize it's there. But as soon as it moves, I'm like, oh shit! I didn't realize there was like someone standing by that tree. They kind of blended in together. You know what I mean?
that's fucking awesome. I love it. I wasn't even looking at you. I can't even fucking see you. Like,
That's what. But that'll cause a problem right there. I'm just chilling, and I'm like, oh, what? And then like, what, dude? I'm like, I'm like, nothing, man. Oh shit. But that seems like about the life of like, you know, whenever you're getting like, you know, stoned, you're gonna get caught up into some shit.
fact, though. What's your, like, favorite stoned moment? I'm gonna put this one out.
Cool. Now that's a good question. It'll honestly be the first time I got high.
Really?
Hell yeah. And I'm gonna have to ask you the same question. Hopefully I don't forget this. Like, but like what your favorite stone moment was. But no, mine was definitely the first time I got high. And I'll give a shout out to Adam Sizemore here. And this is going back. This is
Name drop.
hell yeah. I know you gotta give respect to your homies and all that, especially. Yeah. You know, he's got kids and all that. I don't think he cares. But I remember
Daddy didn't smoke.
yeah. He's probably smoking in the backyard right now, like, honey, change the diapers. I gotta have something for the head, you know. But no, we were probably like 16. I think I'd smoked twice before that, but probably got high, but never really got high. Like, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. They say whenever you smoke the first time, it's like, oh, you never get high, Chris. What the fuck's the matter? That's what Adam said. He's like, what's the matter with you?
Right.
And so we, because his parents were home, we go out back. He's like, let's go to the shed. So we go in the shed. He packs a bowl, and we smoke. We do like 2 tokes. I think we're about to go. He's like, now let's do another one. So we're pretty much a hot box in this shed and shit. And we put, you know, he packs another one. We smoke that. We walk out, and like I feel like on the walk out, like that's maybe where it's kind of starting to tickle, but I don't really feel it. But I remember we sit down on this like couch, like or it's outside, and there's like these lawn chairs. There's a lawn chair there that he sits in. There's one I sit in, and I just lay back like that. You know, I'm feeling way relaxed, and he's sitting there, and then I just look over at him, and we just start cracking up. And it's one of those where we're like just dying laughing, like we're hanging over the chair, just looking at each other, like. And then, like, as soon as it stopped, like, you know, I roll over like that, and then we didn't have music playing or anything like that, right? But I just remember I just went, and as soon as I set up, I heard like Pink Floyd's like Comfortably Numb go, like, you know the intro to Comfortably Numb, whenever like it's just like,
Yes, okay.
like I just remember like I just had that feeling, and I was like, man. And then like Adam just over and he's like, you my friend are high, and like that was the first time I saw like at 16. I was like, and it was just good, dude. You know what I mean? I feel pretty high off this now. That was a good blunt.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? But that was the best time. So what was your favorite experience getting high?
Oh man, I don't even know. See, like my thing is that I've had so many good experiences that it's like I couldn't just pick one. Especially like, I mean, if we're just talking, expanding it to like just being high in general, like my favorite shroom moments. Like I've had so many of them, especially when I was like 16. There's a high school by my parents' house, and at the time, you know, we're all young kids and all that kind of shit, and we got our hands on some shrooms because, you know, shout out to Mom's Neighbors.
Shout out
You know?
Mom's Neighbors on the download list.
You know, we got hooked up with some shrooms, and we took those shits, and then we went on a fucking hike. And we went to the high school, and there were murals at the high school, so we were over there like, bitch, I can climb into this shit. Like it was fucking awesome. Like, that was probably like, and mind you, I was also lit as fuck. So was like, I decided to play dress up as well. So we're going on like a 1.5 mile hike to the high school, and I'm dressed in a red cape and some furry boots. Mm-hmm. And, you know, just weird ass hair and shit. And I was like, textures, I can feel everything.
Only I get that.
Yeah, so, I mean, that was like definitely one of them. And then, man, there was this other time where I went out with my girlfriends, and we were like so lit. We were on shrooms and we were smoking hella weed, and it was close to Valentine's Day, and we all wanted to find dates, and at the time Tinder was doing like group dates. So like we all had Tinder profiles.
Actually,
so,
yeah, I remember that. I remember that now.
Yes.
Whenever you said that, yeah, fuck. Yeah, that time.
Group dates. Okay, so yeah, we were a group of 3 girls that decided to find a group of 3 guys, and we were high as fuck, and we ended up in some weird ass situations. Like, we went to these guys' house that was like, I don't even know what the fuck those guys were on. They were fucked up, and they were having a big ass party apparently, but when we showed up there was no one there. It was just us, so it was like creepy. Shoot. And it was like, they had set it up to be like 1-to-1-to-1, you know, it was like, no, this is not what I wanna do and stuff. And we had took a lift there, so we had to act like, you know, we were like, oh, someone's coming to pick us up and all that, so they didn't get like weird and try to keep us. And the lady that picked us up too, we told her that, and when the guys walked out, because we just left at that point, it was like creepy and weird. So we just bounced out, and the lady actually stood outside of the car and like was like, hey, like called all of our names and stuff and acted like our friend and all that.
Shit, that's
and
tight.
Yeah, she was hella cool. I love that Lyft driver. I wish I could remember her name because I dropped her shit too. She was awesome. But we left those guys' house, and then we went to another group of 3 guys that we had matched with, and they were on a yacht in the Sac River, and that was a whole ass experience. Those dudes were fucking nuts, and that was interesting as shit.
I was saying, it was on a yacht. Was there cocaine involved or something? Like, that sounds like, you're like, yeah, I don't want to say nothing, but kind of something.
So, mind you, I've never done it, but I've seen a lot of people do it.
Gotcha. No, I've been there. I understand.
Yeah. Oh, God. First coke experience. That's a whole ass thing, too. I remember I was 16 years old, and it was New Year's. And I'd never been around coke or anything before, but I knew like my friends did it and all that. And my best friend at the time hit me up and was like, hey, we're going to this New Year's party, come along. And I go, and we're in this garage in like Roseville with like the suburbs, and there's like 20 to 25 teenagers in this garage, and there's nothing but fucking 8 balls everywhere. Like, it was a straight up coke party, and like dude's parents were home and everything too, knew what the fuck was going on out there, and me, this little 16-year-old that like I smoked weed, that was it. And at that time I was a big ass pothead, so it was like everyone knew that I came bearing weed for everyone.
Oh,
so,
shit, yeah.
And I come and walk in, and there's like just fucking, oh my god, I'll never forget. I walk in, and there's a table set out in front of the door, and there's like 4 people on each side and a gigantic mirror in the middle, and all these people had piles of coke in front of them, but they were making shapes and stuff out of it.
Jesus
and like
Christ.
one of them, someone had like Mickey Mouse, like they were snorting Mickey Mouse. This shit was crazy.
No, I was gonna say, this will be some shit out of a fucking movie for real right there.
It really, like, yeah, you could imagine that in, like, a movie scene for sure. That's what it felt like, walking into this garage, and there's just teenagers with fucking too much money, you know?
Fuck.
Like, their parents are thinking that they're giving them money and they're getting, like, lunch, you know, or, like, gas for their car so they can make it to school and stuff, and these kids are literally just pocketing everything and then buying coke.
Yeah, fucking, like, see, again, like, from, like, where I'm, like, from, that's nothing at all. Again, that's, like, shit you kind of hear about, and you're like, oh, what the fuck, you can't imagine, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
But-
that was an experience. That was at 16 years old. Good times.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, but in West Virginia, though, they do pills and shit out there, maybe at, like, 13, so I guess it kind of balances out, you know?
I mean, I guess it all depends on what area you're in,
Yeah.
you know? Like, I grew up in the Placerville area, specifically El Dorado, in which I found out later on that wasn't actually El Dorado. We lived in a town called Logtown, which the only reason we didn't go by Logtown is because Logtown doesn't have a post office.
Oh, yeah?
So yeah, that's interesting background to that. But yeah, in that area, at 16, you're gonna find kids out there fucking smoking meth and shit. Like, that's a whole ass different area. So to go to Roseville and see that, I was like, Jesus, y'all are definitely on some different shit over here.
Yeah, fuck, dude, that's nuts how, like, it's like the extremities go from, like, one.
Yeah, and honestly, like, what? Both of those towns are only, like, 45 minutes apart from each other, so it's, like, such a big difference between, like, these people have money and these people don't. They do crack.
Yeah. Crack versus the coke. And all that, which is crazy, too, is because crack takes so much longer to make whenever,
Right.
you know, like, the backstory of it, like, oh, so it's like, whatever. It's just... But no, hard drugs are like some shit that, because I've never done like crack. I've put a little bit, I'll be honest, I put a little bit of powder up there.
Right. I mean, who hasn't, except me, like...
Yeah. But it was strange too, because I kind of could identify with you where you're like, where you didn't want to do hard drugs or whatever. But it just was like a circumstance came up and I was like, you know what? Fucking
Right.
like the Rolling Stones would do it. So
And
I was
I've
like,
had, like, those opportunities, too, and
Yeah.
I've really thought about it. I'm like, I'm going to try coke tonight. It's going to happen. And I'll text someone about it. See, and that's the thing. I'll text someone about it, and they'll be like, Sally, you ain't ever done it before. Why are you going to start doing it now? And I'm like, I mean, that's a good point, but it's here, and they already got the line out. Like...
see, that's like when it's kind of like, that's when I'm just like, alright, whatever. But it's like also, because like I haven't like done it for like a good solid minute, but it's because I kind of just was like, it's like the fun of it just goes way too fast. So it's like you just kind of
That's
like,
what I hear.
yeah, it's like you kind of end up like wanting to chase it. So it's like if you're like, if it's, again, like, so if there's a situation to where like, again, like a Rolling Stone, like, I'm just saying, like, not necessarily like I'm hanging out, but like that kind of like what I
Yeah.
see is like, alright, dude, we're going crazy, it's a party, like, whatever. It balls to a wall, then it's
Right.
like good to go. But other than that, it's like, nah, doesn't really like appeal at like the moment. Like I'm really just going and getting like smoking my weed and like having like my cocktails and all that. Because again, I could even felt like doing a psychedelic trip for a minute, maybe shrooms. But what's funny with shrooms is if I take them, sometimes I'll forget about it. Like I'll just be sitting there and then. I love shrooms for this, but like I kind of get annoyed too, and this is why I kind of like acid because so much acid.
The way that like your body like digests even the edibles, so it makes sense that your shrooms would be that way too. You're like, damn, I totally forgot about this. That shit hit you, like it's fucking awesome.
I guess so. Yeah, that makes sense. Like it just processes shit slow, but it's like with shrooms, like always like I love this process in a sense, but I also hate it because like you just go through the ego death. I'll usually like just be sitting there and then I'll just have like start having like heavy thoughts or something like that. Sometimes
right away.
Like maybe not right away, but like I said, like I'll eat it, and then 45 minutes later, it's like it's like, and then I'll be oh shit, that's why I'm like feeling emotional or something like that and going deep. And then as soon as like I go like through that, then it's like oh man. It's like that spiritual uplift and everything. So like that's what's cool about. That's the thing I hate about. But what's cool is like you just go through the ego death. You get like way like internally. You're like you know what I'm saying, and then it's like.
Which is why like I appreciate doing shrooms every so often because like if you ever just needed to figure out something and why you feel a certain way or something, and you are completely open to the experience, shrooms will help you. You know, your brain goes into like just I don't know, analyze mode. I don't know. I love shrooms. I always have a great experience on them. And I love hosting people on shrooms as well. Like this is their first experience doing shrooms. I'm like, I'm about to give you the most amazing experience ever.
No, that's way cool. I may have done that. I just can't. I'm pretty sure I've given shrooms to someone for the first time.
I love doing that. It's my favorite. I mean, look at that night we were just talking about like ending up on the yacht and stuff. It was one of my girlfriend's first time doing shrooms, and I'm like, I just took you on the funnest experience of your life.
Well, like
I'm like, you will forever remember me because I just made your life.
Like, the universe gives you something whenever you do psychedelics. It's like, all right, we gotta expand and do something crazy here.
Right.
But getting back to that on that, do you care to like divulge like anything that like went on like there that's like wild? I mean, to me that sounds like Wolf of Wall Street. Like I don't know, like not really because you're on the Sacramento River.
Okay,
but,
yes.
Right.
So let's bring it back to that. We are in Sacramento. Okay, so when you were thinking yacht, you were thinking like $1 million and stuff, but we're in Sacramento. So
yeah. You already bring it back.
These dudes bought a yacht that was like old and needed remodeling and shit. So like this yacht was like under construction and we're like, does it even actually float? And they had hooked up all these like speaker systems and stuff up to, and we are docked by like Joe's Crab Shack, okay? Like picture this, okay? We were in this broke down yacht and we were docked by Joe's Crab Shack. And if you were from Sacramento and stuff, you fucking know the exact area I'm talking about. And they had the most obnoxious sound system, and we were fucked up on shrooms. And they were just fucked up, they were drunk. So we had a dance party on this yacht.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I didn't dance. The girls didn't dance. My friends and I, we sat there. But we had a dance party.
You mean they had a dance party?
The guys danced and had these crazy lights going everywhere and had this obnoxious ass music going, and they were like dancing like cowboy strippers and yeah, like honestly, I feel like I have video of this still. Like, I'm almost positive that I do. And, yeah, I don't know, that was a whole ass experience. it was funny as fuck. Like, what did we get ourselves into? And mind you, we became friends with these guys too. So we had many more yacht experiences.
On the broken down yacht, did they ever take it out on the river, or would it sink?
Yes,
Yes, they finally did.
And we would link up with all the other yachts of Sacramento, and if these yachter people, whatever, fucking watch this, they're gonna be like, this bitch is talking so much shit. But I mean, like, y'all are fucking stupid and wild.
Yeah, she told you.
Like, oh my god, there was like orgies and stuff happening on this whole yacht fucking lineup and stuff, and this was like 6 years ago or something. Like, so who knows? I'm sure the same shit's probably happening, you know, every summer. And the men get older and the women stay the same age, and
good line use.
And yeah, like, that shit was fucking crazy.
Oh fuck. So I just have to ask, like, on those orgies, did you participate?
No.
You were like,
No.
no, I haven't.
No, not saying that I've never participated in an orgy before, because I'm gonna be completely honest and real about that. I used to go to swingers parties and stuff.
Oh,
like,
shit.
that was my fucking shit. That's how I actually became friends with the girls that we went on the yacht with. Like, we would all go to swingers parties. That was our fucking thing.
Oh, fuck.
Exploring our sexuality.
And what age were you, like, kind of doing that at? Like,
I was like 24, 25 years old. And mind you, but they were much older than me. Like, not a lot, but like, they were already like in their 30s. So I don't know, I've always been the young friend around everyone. Like my best friend that called earlier.
I feel like that too sometimes.
Yeah, like, I don't know. I like to be around older people and stuff. I like to be around the wise words, I guess. Like, you've already been through this, so thank you for forewarning me. I like all advice.
No, I feel that. But no, again, that's that's a wild story. I wouldn't expect. Like, I didn't, like, you know, like, so, like, just like a bunch of old geezers who've like saved up their money trying to like have like young girls come on, pretty much.
There was one guy, he was like this older Hispanic man, and he had so much fucking money, and he had a wife at home that knew that this motherfucker was going out on the yacht and stuff, but did not know like what was going on. So like, sometimes she would come with him on the yacht, and at those times, like, it's just like all the girls just knew not to be like on him or anything.
Oh,
you
shit.
know? It was like, that's how it was. But when she wasn't there, it was like party up, there was coke, and there was people fucking, and it was just like, it was wild.
Oh man.
Yeah. It was so weird. Like, I had never knew that the man was married until like one day we went out with the guys with the broke down yacht. And we tied up with all the other people, and then he was there, and there was a woman, an older woman that was with him, and there was no girls on the boat. And I was like, that's so strange. What's that about? Asking one of the guys, and then they told me, and I was like, oh my god, that's fucking wild.
Yeah.
All right. Secrets of Sacramento.
Fuck.
Oh man. Yeah, no. I've had very interesting, wild times living here.
Yeah, I can imagine. Like,
It's been a good experience.
like the closest I've seen the opposite. I was gonna say the closest. I'm like, yeah, like this. I've seen the opposite. There was one day I was working on a job where we were just setting up fence on the levee, and this looked like a fucking Somali pirate. Like, this dude had like a houseboat from Neptune's hell or something like that. It had like all this shit stacked on it, and no sail or anything. It had like a motor or whatever. But behind it, he had like a little dinghy. You know, like how like the Navy SEALs would invade a beach.
Yeah.
With that, he had like that on there, and he was just floating. He had solar panels and all this shit. Like he was homeless, but technically not, and living tax free, floating on the fucking Sacramento River. Like, who the fuck?
No, he lived on a houseboat. Like, good for him.
I don't know what he lived on. It wasn't a house, but this was like
something.
This was something like, dude. This looked like this had to be someone who was like on meth, who just like, I got an idea, and it worked, and he just stuck with it.
Right.
You know?
Right. I believe it. I mean, good for him. He figured it out.
Yeah. I mean, like that's excuse me. I'm coughing on that good old hit. That Eastwood. That's what I like to call blunts and all that is Eastwood, like Clint Eastwood smokes is kind of thin like that, but nonetheless. But yeah, that's what I'm kind of like. If you're living like happily and not taking anything from me or anyone else, you're doing all right in society by my account. You know.
Right. I mean, there's people that want to live that way. These people are literally living the dream, so good for them.
Yeah, really.
Oh, I don't know. That's interesting.
Talking about, just because I had the thought, when we were talking about drugs, because I was going to mention earlier, like, I've never done opium, but that's another one of those that I would like to do is like smoke opium. Like, you know, like you go to Chinatown, like classic, like old school, not like this modern like day bullshit, but you go somewhere like in San Francisco where they do it right, like a Chinaman comes out. They have a nice Chinese girl. She might come like rub your feet, like to get the coals, like all the hot steam. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So if anyone knows about a place in San
like
Francisco
that.
that can hook it up with some opium.
Like that's where they have to like do it though. It has to be right. Like I want to do it old school, like where they would do it like in like 1890 English style. You know what I mean? Like where they have like the Chinese. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm picturing this in like mini action movies right now.
But no, like to me, like it's why why have like a good hit of weed and I sit back like that. I'm like, oh man. But someone's like, I want to just have that hit of opium, Sherlock Holmes style, just to have that feel.
Jeez.
But
I don't know. I could see the attraction to it, especially if you think about it that way.
no, I kind of have like that romantic Victorian era kind of look at it.
Yeah.
Other people are like, I don't know, man, that's kind of like hard and shit. But it's like, yeah, but again, Keith Richards, I want to be like only in moment. You know what I'm saying? To get the creative juices flowing.
I mean, you can get like kratom and you can like mix it in your drink, and that's an opiate. It's a natural opiate.
Now,
There's that. You can get that in any smoke shop.
I got you, but still, I feel like that's just like the white man's, alternative to kind of like spice.
Yeah. Yeah. Kratom's crazy. That's actually how my daughter's dad died.
Oh shit.
He overdosed on kratom. It's crazy. That's why I'm like, that's wild that like you can just buy that at the smoke shop. That's where he was getting it.
Really? Like, see, that's not, but like that's like what's like crazy about those other, like, I don't even know, because they're not really technically like, is kratom like sold as a drug, so to speak, or like something to be ingested? I guess
it's like a dietary supplement.
Gotcha.
Right.
So, okay, and I know those like the speed pills, like, so to speak. So, like, if you don't mind, like, so we just kind of like took like just too many of them, I guess, or how
so he would get the powder. So like in the powder,
damn.
you could just you don't have to measure it or anything. Just dump the shit in there. So yeah. I don't know. I had already not been with him for like 3 years though. So like his girlfriend is the one that experienced all of that. I just heard about it, So I was like, that was wild. That was a whole ass situation. I miss him.
No, I'm sorry. I'm sure your daughter does too. So,
Oh,
yeah.
absolutely. At the same time, it's very fortunate that she was so young. So this just happened last year, so she was only 6 years old. So it's like, you know, she remembers him. She remembers the good parts of him.
That's good at least. Like, it's like talking about like the crazy, because that makes me think like the fentanyl. Like I know a couple of people who've died from like fentanyl.
Yeah,
like that, like,
that's another wild one. I know a family member that overdosed on it. She didn't die, but she's pretty fucked up from it. See, why would you want to do hard drugs?
Exactly. Like we're having a good time just smoking this blunt.
Right.
And like if you watch back on this podcast, you'll see me like on the that first one, because I had a little bit more keef and I was sweating just because I was just like I was feeling it like stratosphere hits. You know what I mean? But to me, like I love like the blunt, like especially I mean like the THC and the nicotine that hits.
I don't really smoke blunts. Like, I smoke blunts with hemp wraps. So, I mean, this is good, you know, but it's not like my style.
I got you. Yeah, it. For a minute, like I wasn't like big on like blunts myself. It was more like bong rips and things like that. And then I had a friend that kind of was like, "Nah, here's what you do," and he would cut like slivers off of it, so we'd like make it a little bit thinner. He's like, "Why why have like more tobacco and all that shit? Here's how you do it." So I was like, that's a professional grade. That's a professional grade roll right there.
Yeah, no, I like to smoke joints. That's my thing. And especially now that you can get like king size papers too, so I can get a blunt sized joint. It's my favorite.
Gotcha. Now, are you one of those like who wants to get if I was like balling like big time, those are the ones I always smoke, but like ones that got like the keef on it with the wax and all that. But how often do you hit those? Do you enjoy those a lot, or?
I mean, like, infused joints are awesome. I absolutely love them. Like, at work, we have quite a few of them, and I'm lazy. I don't want to fucking roll or anything anymore. Are you kidding me? Doing the job that I do, I have now become so fucking lazy. I used to roll everything all the time. I would roll things ahead of time just to make sure that, like, around this time, it's already rolled and I'm ready to go. And now I'm like, I just buy all the pre-rolls.
Gotcha. Just sorry, I was like, I saw you move your hands. I thought you were about to. But I'm gonna get back into the 420 nurses and all that, and just because I don't know. Again, like I'm just interested in it, like.
Right,
just a broad
and
thing.
welcome to the Sacramento Chapter.
Yeah, thank you. That's why I was gonna ask you like for like an official dub. That's why I wore this shirt tonight.
Right, that's so cute. I love it.
Thank you. Well, I'll touch on that. Like, do you like Led Zeppelin and all the band?
I mean, yeah.
No, so the lead singer Robert Plant actually wore this shirt. Not this one, but like on stage in San Francisco like one night, and I just thought it was funny. But then I actually had it, and then I was like, fuck, this is like serendipity. I'm gonna put this on.
See, full circle.
And all that. Yeah, exactly. And now I can officially wear it and be like, yeah, I'm 420 nurse, motherfucker. Look at this.
Sorry, I'll be in a minute.
That's what I'm saying. Look at that. He interrupts me. Look at that. If I was an agitated individual, I'd be like, hey, why you want to talk, motherfucker? Look at that. I smoked that blunt. No more problems. Look at me. I relax. Why do that and have pills like Xanax and all that? You overdose.
Smoke more weed.
Yeah, exactly.
Smoke more weed.
No one's overdosing here. Like the worst thing you're gonna do is you're gonna pass out and forget to do the dishes.
You know what we tell people? If you feel too high, it's really good to have CBD with you because CBD will mellow you out. And that's how we sell a lot of our weed too at my job. Like, we get so many people that will call in and they'll be first time smokers and stuff. And it's like, you're gonna want this, and then you're gonna want some CBD as well, because if you feel too high, then you'll be able to bring it down.
No, I'm glad you brought up CBD, because that's something that I did not think to mention or ask about with 420 nurses, because CBD's something I feel like I should be doing more of.
CBD is so good, and I encourage everyone to dabble with it, and you just need to find like your dosage. People are like, oh, I did CBD and I didn't feel anything and stuff. I was like, because you didn't take enough is what it is. I was like, because one thing that we have in common with weed is that we both have endocannabinoid systems. So it's kind of cool because everyone's fucking body reacts differently to different strains because of the cannabinoids that are in the fucking weed. So that's why, like, some people are like, oh, I really like Blue Dream, like, that one works for me. Or like, oh, I really like Jack Herrera because it works really good for my pain and shit like that. So it's like, you just need to find your right dosage of CBD that will work with your body. It's there. You just gotta work with it. You can't just like have one experience and be like, yeah, I'm over it.
No, I feel you. Like, again, that's something I should like get like some CBD pills, just because sometimes my back's been doing better now, but excuse me. But like for a while there was just like tight, you know what I mean? I wanted to take some, like I think I just stretched it and like I finally like got it, but for a minute there I was just wanting to get some CBD to really like help like with like the, you know, relieving the pain and like help loosen up the muscles and all of that.
So I get these great gummies by Pungent Greens, and they are 40 milligrams each, and the whole jar has 2,000 milligrams in it, and they taste really good. They're sour gummies, and they fucking work amazingly. Like, every person that I've ever given those gummies to, like, say that, like, whatever pain they had and stuff goes away, or they had, like, a really cool floaty feeling and stuff. Like, it's just really feel good. I would definitely recommend getting those. It's like a jar of 2,000 milligrams, and it's $20 online, hella cheap. You'd be good.
Chris, is that your stuff in the oven?
Yeah, hang on. We'll take a time out here real quick. You're all, dude, this is a podcast. That's what happens. Yeah.
Shit, I didn't know.
No, dude, like what?
Can I pull it out of the oven?
Yeah.
I just turned it on. I didn't know.
Yeah, I just had to need to keep it warm and all
I
that.
think you guys were talking.
It's all good, dude. Like, again, it's a podcast. These things, like, all of them, like, have some sort of interruption.
Sorry.
It's all good.
At least it's not live, and you can, like, edit it.
Yeah. See, I'm not even gonna hit the thing out of here. I'm just gonna let it roll. Check and make sure. Yeah, it's rolling good. Yeah, we're at an hour right now. Are you cool to continue going for a minute, or?
Yeah, we're good.
Right. Let me see. This is a part that's going to be. This is like off the. I don't want to say off the record part, because that makes it sound like I'm gonna ask, like, you know, personal questions or whatever. But this is like stuff that's not going to be on the podcast. Is what I meant to say. Like, right. But so, like, is there anything you want to talk about real quick? Anything specific? I don't know, like with 420 nurses or modeling again. I feel like we covered like a good bit, but like I don't know. I always feel like there's like more to it, because again, like those
there's
yacht
always
stories.
More.
Yeah, like the yacht stories are like way tight. So I'm just trying to figure out like where to pick back up from. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I get it. There's always more, and this is why I go live so much on Instagram, because like there's just always more.
Oh yeah.
I get people that hit me up all the time. They're like, I literally watch your videos like podcasts. They're like, it's great. And I'm like, especially because I do the same thing like we're doing. I literally just smoke. That's what we do. You should go live with me sometime.
I will.
You'll meet
I'll
a
give you-
whole ass interesting network of people going live with me. as
No,
well.
like I love that. Again, that's why like I'm into this. Again, now this probably we'll probably be back on like here, but no, again, like the podcast thing was just something like I didn't like really plan on like getting into comedy or anything like that. When I moved to California from West Virginia, it was just I wanted to pursue acting. I had a friend up here who you saw Scott Noble, who was on the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
He was in that Sundance film. He was he was already out here with his girlfriend, so I moved in with them for a little bit. Craziness happened, so I moved out, and but anyway, yeah, like long story short, I just moved out here like to get into acting and all that, but like from like there it led into comedy, so to speak, which led into podcasting, and then it's just full around entertainment is kind of what I'm pursuing anymore. It's just, I'm like, if I love it, I'm gonna do it. You know what I mean?
I feel it.
So
That's kind of how like the 420 Nurses was like. That's how I joined it. I was, like I said previously, I was bored, alone, needed a fucking hobby, needed new friends. This photographer hit me up. I was like, sure, let's go. And I did my first shoot and was like, this was way too fucking easy. You guys loved me. I was like, can I actually pull off being a fucking model? I guess. Whatever. Now I've got, we've got about 100 people or more in the Sacramento Chapter, and we've grown and we've helped a lot of models grow and like grow their following online and stuff and gain fans on 420nurses.com, and it's just great. I love it. I love watching everyone grow and blossom. I love watching the Sacramento Chapter grow and blossom into what we're aiming for as a modeling agency in the cannabis industry.
oh hell yeah.
Yeah, it's really cool. And I love it. Like, we've been going to this meeting of like all of these dispensaries and delivery services in Sacramento, and it's called the NorCal Cannabis Alliance, and it's just a really cool experience, like seeing everyone in the cannabis industry that are just like working with each other to make things better, like legally here in California. Like, we get to bring down taxes and stuff on weed and shit. Like, it's a lot.
Yeah. That's badass right there, bringing taxes
Right.
down on weed. Fuck
Right,
yeah.
exactly. It's fucking awesome. So to be a part of that, like, especially as the 420 Nurses and have their support as well, is fucking, it's great. And it's like we're all at the ground floor right now. Cannabis is still considered a Schedule I drug, like, federally. Like, that's fucking wild to me. Like, look
Yeah,
at us
I know,
right now.
right?
Like, are we fucking up people or anything? Like,
No, we're having a conversation, just smoking, talking about the benefits of marijuana and all of that. And like quick, like have you all ever like done anything like at like any kind of like medical kind of events or anything of that nature? Excuse me.
So, with NorCal Holistics, they do something during the summer called Third Thursday Reggae. Third Friday Reggae. And it is over at Swabby's on the river. And we've gone there and supported the booth over there and supported the show that they put on, and it was a really cool experience. We got a lot of photos and stuff from it, and yeah, I don't know. That's about where we're at so far. And like I said, we've gone to those meetings with the NorCal Cannabis Alliance, which is a lot of owners and stuff from all of the Sacramento area, and it's just a really cool experience. And we're trying to like dabble more in that. We would like to do more work with them, but right now we're just doing like little networking things with like people that have products. Like, we have a shoot coming up with a company that does like their own rolling papers.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. They're in a couple smoke shops here locally in Sacramento. and they had asked us to do some modeling and photography for them.
That's really tight.
Right. So I mean, we're working on it. We're growing.
Oh yeah,
we're trying to get more into.
You're making that paper, so.
Yeah, it's cool. You know, I think it's really neat that people appreciate our work and stuff and appreciate what we do as a network of people. Like, yeah, we're like models and photographers. That's what we're labeled as, you know, like with 420 Nurses, that's how you join. You do some photos and stuff, or you're a photographer, you're a model, and you work in the network, but you also bring along like your own network of people and stuff, and like
Gotcha.
It's really neat. It's just we have people that do all types of stuff. We got caregivers, we got like me, I work at NorCal Holistics as a bud tender and a driver. We got people that are, you know, doing like big things and that are a part of us, and it's neat.
No, I dig that, man. I think it's just really cool, especially again, like coming from West Virginia and seeing all that, because it's all foreign to, again, excuse me, it's all foreign to me. So then it's like not like 420 Nurses and all that, like, you know, modeling like weed, like events, like promoting it, like that's just badass. Now, like to be a part of it, I'm like, oh fuck, I'm psyched. Like, and I also there's I think I can talk about this because I actually got booked for a commercial for a cannabis.
Nice.
I don't really know the names. They didn't give it to me, but I know I'm like the spokesperson for this like commercial.
Legit.
So yeah.
Yeah. No,
so
that's awesome.
that's tight. Like I can't wait to get that filmed. So it's like hell yeah, man. Cannabis is making like profit like that. Like it's our you know 2020, like our 20s are like the 1920s, you know, with the alcohol and all that. Mm-hmm. Ours is like marijuana. It's coming in, and when people are like smoking, like we're like the new
Cannabis
age.
prohibition is like a real thing right now.
Exactly.
You know, think about it. Weed is now like recreational, and you still got people that are fucking locked up over it. You know, like that should not. They should be. What are you doing? Yeah. Like you're just taking up space there. They didn't do nothing wrong. It's fucking weed and it's legal now.
Yeah, they made some money that you didn't get like any kind of tax on, which happens every day with anything else. Right. So whatever, let it go. Admit that you're wrong. Government, U.S. government, admit that you're wrong. You'll gain respect from the people. I don't give a fuck about the president, Biden, Trump, Obama. Fuck Bush and all them other people. I saw Cheney. Fuck, you're going to hell. So anyway, I said my piece. But anyway, government, fuck all that bullshit. Be real to the people. That's all that matters. Be real to the people. I know you're making all that like tax-free money. You gotta drop a couple bombs on people and you know do whatever you gotta do politically.
The shade.
To do. Yeah, you gotta do your evilness and all that. We will clean it up later. But for now, on U.S. soil, you gotta cut it back. You gotta cut it back. You can't be putting people in jail for smoking weed. Look at this. This is a bomb. Biden, because you got amnesia. Wait, what? He's got amnesia. Look at this. This is America. You got freedom of speech. Oh, look at it. Hey, I'm no better than you, Biden. My amnesia got better than me smoking this reefer. It's good for you, but it sometimes gives you that short-term memory. Just like you, Kamala Harris, you cleaning up them turd stains. Oh, poor Selena, she's like, oh no, we're getting political. Not really. I'm just making jokes. I like political jokes. I'm keeping it light. Like everyone gets offended like too easily anymore. But look at this. Secret Service man. Congressman. Senator. Who's that evil bitch? Like everyone, not Hillary Clinton, but the one that everyone else hates, that goes crazy. Nancy Pelosi. You're here in California. Oh, you went to that hair salon and you had a problem over there. Look at this. All you had to do was this. And the 420 Nurses, you know, we support this. Get rid of that mental agitation. All that anger, anxiety, throw it out the window. Here's what you gotta do. And you just watch all those problems go up in smoke. And then you find world peace. But that's how we do it if I was running things in political office. But this is just a Nosotros Trabajamos Duro podcast, and you're here with me and Selena smoking some herb.
That was a serious moment.
Yeah, well, you were the one making. You were like, oh my god, like, because again, people, I joke around things like politically. Like, if you want to know my personal heart, I'm an anarchist. I really don't believe in government, but we're not mentally at that point yet to where it can get there.
This is his personal opinion. And
Exactly. And Selena, if you, like, let me hear your
opinion.
opinion. Because again, I want to, like, even if it opposes mine, I want to hear that. Because again, peace. You know what I'm saying? I like to have good conversation.
I don't speak about political
all right.
I went through a period of time with my daughter's father where we were very into politics. As a matter of fact, I went to a camp in New Jersey called Democracy Spring.
Oh no.
And they had pulled off the biggest protest at the Capitol at the time, so it was like a huge thing. So like I went through my political stages, and now I just take a step back and I'm like, you know what, this doesn't personally affect my life right now, so I have no opinion on it.
I understand. I have a background in journalism, so I always have like that investigative kind of thing, and it's like I'm gonna find like some sort of justice, you know what I mean? Reading Hunter Thompson,
right,
and all that in high school, like, so yeah, that's
right. If there's one thing that we can agree on, though, for sure, it is that people need to get released from jail and prison and such for fucking weed, because that's a fucking joke.
Exactly. Why are people in there for weed? Like, I can see, like, if, like, you know, someone owed someone some money for weed and they smacked him in the head, you know, but that ain't really weed. If he smoked a joint, he wouldn't really smack somebody, but again, that's just a joke, people.
Yeah.
But no, people don't need to be in jail for smoking, like, weed. There's nothing wrong there. If it's a victimless crime, why is someone in jail?
Makes no sense.
Exactly.
There is actually a brand of weed called Evidence, and what they do is they donate to the Last Prisoner Project. And the Last Prisoner Project tries to get people out of prison and stuff for fucking weed crimes. So, I mean,
for Last Prisoner.
Yeah, definitely, you know, check that shit out too. They're called Evidence Bag, and every time you buy their weed, they throw proceeds to Last Prisoner Project.
You need Kool-Aid, baby, I'm not fooling. I'm gonna send you back to school, way down inside.
Hey people, hope you enjoyed that podcast with Selena. And Selena, I'm sorry I screwed up your last name. Well, hang on a second. Hey people, I hope you enjoyed that podcast with Selena Fimbres. Selena, I'm sorry I screwed it up during the podcast again. I don't know, I asked her name and I just heard Himdes for some reason. But anyway, you saw that correction in the podcast and video. So again, I hope you all enjoyed it. We also got a little bit political there, but hey, what are you going to do? You got to let them know. Especially in this office nowadays when they're all corrupt and people are just sitting and getting like thrown in jail, smoking some good old herb. I mean, they want to call it like a federally illicit Schedule 1 narcotic or whatever. Like if people are like passing out, like fucking them heroin junkies up there in Portland. Look at this. Look at that. Classic. Like John Lennon. I don't need to have a blowtorch and the wax to, you know, pretend like, you know, like the white kids nowadays want to pretend they're doing freebase or something like that with the dabs. All you gotta do is get some good old herb, crunch it up and put it up there, and you're good to go. But listen, if you want to do some beautiful dabs and all that, that's fine with me. I've done it a couple times too. You know, it's alright. But anyway, what are you going to do? In fact, the first thing, when I moved out here from West Virginia, I worked for Calyx, which was a mass distributor of marijuana. And, you know, they had edibles, flower, CBD, different things, and they had like different companies and all that too. So what I would do is I'd go to these businesses, like they could be brick and mortar. And for example, if I went to a brick and mortar, I'd go in there and say, hey, I'd have a bag and have all these goodies in there, and I'd give it to them, and I'd say, hey, here's like something that you could get, try all these things, and let me know what you like if you want to order them. And I'd get paid for like going there and getting that, and then I'd make a commission if I got a sell. So that was really cool. But I also had a West Virginia license at the time. I didn't have the California one, and that was the time, like right here in 2016, when you had to have your medical card from a doctor and all that. And I didn't have one at the time, so I would basically just make calls for like the delivery services and like talk to them and explain what I was doing, and then they just meet me. And so I was just making sales and meets and all that kind of stuff doing that. And it was one of the best things I was doing when I moved out here. But then what happened? But then it just got to where it was like mostly just I was working like part-time. They went to their little thing, and I wasn't a full-time salesman for them, so I had to move on to different work. That said, here we are. And things, looking pretty good, I think. Oh shit. Except for the other night. Listen, people. You want to understand the havoc of being Christopher Allen. Every time I think I'm doing something good, I get like just one leg over something. Something just goes wrong, and it's always like some sort of like retardation. Nothing. You know what happened the other day? I was backing up, and I ended up hitting the little gas thing right beside the garage. I was watching them try to bump into the garage. Fantastic, right? Then all of a sudden I feel like what the fuck? And I pull forward a little bit, and I hear this, and I thought I hit like some water. I'm like, I have a goddamn. I never knew it was like to have like a water gasket right there back, and I get out and I smell this gas, and I'm just like instantly, oh fuck, you know what I'm saying? And we had to call there. There's like call the fire department. There's lights and all this. The neighbors come out, and they just basically laugh at the situation and like ha 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 ha. Yeah, it's funny, motherfucker. But of course I'm laughing too. So anyway, what are you gonna do? Goddamn it, when shit happens. But look, it's all good now. There's no paying extra money. PG&E came and worked all night. I took a nap. I didn't really take a nap. I went to sleep and then went to work the next day. But fuck, I had to deal with all that nonsense. You know what I'm saying, people? Jesus fucking Christ. Just as soon as I'm doing goddamn well and things are going to pop, retardation happens like some fucking gremlin. Some bitch spilled water and fed a little motherfucker after midnight. You know what I'm saying? Just be on the lookout. Other than that, I think things are going pretty well. Again, I hope you enjoyed that with the 420 nurse Selena Fimbres there. Check out the 420 nurses, people. They do a lot. I didn't realize there's also a store that has all these like girly items and all that. So ladies, get beautiful, get stoned, and watch out for them evil crooked politicians. They're lurking around the corner. If they can make some money off of you, you've seen The Matrix. So that's all I've got to say. And with that, I'm going to have a nice sip of this. I think this bong rip sends you on the way. Got another podcast coming here before too much longer, so check it out as well. And just stay tuned. Dig on the 420 nurses and check out that sleepover she was talking about. I think they're going to have a lot more things like that coming along, so dig on it, people.
Don't everybody like to taste the apple pie? Well, snap for your slice of life. got $1 million. But my cousin Ricky Walker got 10 years doing fair time on the first offense drug bust. Fault the police, that's if you're racist or you're crooked. Arrest me for this dope, I didn't weigh it up or cook it. You gotta charge the world cause over 1 million people took it. Look at me, I'm out of your jurisdiction, now you looking stupid. Officer, get off me sir. Don't make me call LA, he have your walking sir. A couple of months ago they gave Outcast the key to the city, but I still gotta pay my taxes and they give us no pity. About these youngsters amongst us, you think they respect the law, they think they amongst us, they love us. Reality rapping and giving the youth the truth from this booth. And when we on the stage we scream, don't everybody. Don't everybody like the smell of gasoline? One burn, motherfucker, burn American dreams. Don't everybody like the taste of apple pie? Well, snap for your slice of life, I'm telling you why. I hit that mother nature now on birth control. They call us pimp, we looking for somebody to hold. The highway up to heaven got a truck on the toll. You full of fire, ain't got nowhere to go. Nowhere to go.
Yeah, I'm a son of the most high. You touch me, you touch the apple of his eye. If they kick us out, where will we go? Not to Africa, cause now one of them acknowledge us